This will be for the con exercise, adding probabilities. So the main formula you want to remember, the probability of event A or B is going to be the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of both. Okay, what do I mean by the probability of both? Well, that is equivalent to the probability of A and B. All right, basically the overlap. But for simplicity, I just wrote the probability of both. Okay, so this right here is the formula you need. All right, first problem. I hate these lengthy write-ups. All right, I'm actually going to ignore the first part here and just focus on what counts. Let A be the event that Harry is chosen by a wand made of holly, and B be the event he is chosen by a wand with dragon scale. What is the probability of A or B? In other words, he is chosen by a wand made of holly or a wand made of dragon scale. So we're looking for holly or dragon scale, that probability. All right, let's look at the chart. Holly or dragon scale. All right, so I abbreviated probability of holly or dragon scale. Like we said at the beginning, you add the two individual probabilities. All right, when it's or, probability of holly plus the probability of dragon scale minus the probability of both. All right. So let's see. This is basically a chart. All right, like so. And these right here are the options. Let's count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then vertically 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times 4 is 20. All right, so this chart in total, has 20 options. All right, so that's going to be in the denominator. Let's find the probability of holly. All right, well, let's count how many of them have holly. Okay, I'll do it in a different color. H was holly, right? So probability of holly, we have, well, this is the whole row for holly. This is the row right here for holly. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there's no other hollies, so that's going to be 5 out of the total, which is 20. Now for dragon scale, well, right here, we have the column for dragon scale. How many dragon scale? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 out of 20. And finally, the probability of both. Let's look for the one. Let's look for the one that has both. Okay. Probability of both, you're subtracting. We're looking for holly and dragon scale, both of them. This one right here is holly and dragon scale. That's the only one that has both, so only 1 out of 20 has both. Okay, we have a common denominator of 20. And adding 5 plus 4 is 9, minus 1 is 8. So that's it, 8 out of 20. All right, you don't have to reduce in this section. So type 8/20. 26 customers are eating dinner. Of the 26, 20 order coffee, 8 order pie, 7 order coffee and pie. Using this info, answer the questions. All right. So 20 order coffee, 8 order pie, 7 order coffee and pie. All right, so this right here is both. And it's out of how many? out of 26. So that's going to be the denominator in most cases. What is the probability that a customer orders coffee? How many ordered coffee? 20 ordered coffee out of 26. All right, it's just 20 out of 26. 20 over 26, you don't have to reduce. What is the probability the customer orders pie? 8 ordered pie out of 26. 8 out of 26. What is the probability that a customer orders coffee and pie? In other words, both. How many ordered both? 7 of them. 7 out of 26. 7/26. Finally, the probability of A or B. So we set our formula in the beginning. All right, I will write it on the bottom. All right, so probability of coffee or pie. Instead of A and B, I use C and P. Like we said at the beginning, you add the probability, so the probability of coffee plus the probability of pie minus the probability of both. All right, so what was the probability of coffee? 20 out of 26. Let me see if, I don't know, maybe I have a bit more room here. 20 over 26. What was the probability of pi? Right here, that was 8 out of 26. We are adding those. And subtract the probability of both, which was right here. No, A and B, the probability of both was 7 out of 26. All right, so make sure you use the formula. 20 plus 8 is 28, minus 7 is 21. And the common denominator is 26. Remember, to add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. So that's it, 21 out of 26 for the OR part. 21/26. Fatima rolls a fair 6-sided die and a fair 4-sided die simultaneously. The sample space is here. Let A be the event the 6-sided die is 5, B be the event the sum of the dice is 4 or less. What is the probability of A or B? All right, so let's write this out. The first probability, A, is the event that the 6-sided die equals 5. All right, you can't get a 5 on the 4-sided die. So in other words, the probability of getting a 5 or the sum of the dice is 4 or less. So probability of 5 or, all right, the sum equals 4 or less. All right, so these two events right here. So first we want to find the probability that it's 5. Then we want to add the probability that the sum is 4 or less. Okay, and then we want to subtract the probability of both. All right, that's from the formula. I'm going to have to erase this for now and look at the outcomes here. But first, it's probability of 5, probability of sum of 4 or less, and then the probability of both. All right, let's check it out. Let's get a total first. All right, we need a total. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and vertically 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Now, the first one is the probability of getting a 5. And that is only on the 6-sided die. All right, not the 4-sided die. Probability of getting a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 24. All right, 4 out of 24, not 25. 4 out of 24. Plus the probability that the sum equals 4 or less. Which ones have a sum of 4 or less? Let's find the ones that have a sum of 4 first. All right, sum equals 4. 3 plus 1 is good. 2 plus 2 is good. 3 plus 1 is good. All right, so those have a sum of 4, and the ones that are less, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 1 is 2, and the rest of them, all the rest of them, the sum is more than 4. All right, so for the sum is 4 or less, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 24. Minus the probability of both. Okay, so which one has a die of 5 or the sum is 4 or less? Where the ones where we roll the 5, the sum cannot be 4 or less. All right, see, these are the only ones where the sum is 4 or less. This is where we roll the 5. So the probability of both is 0. All right, there is no both. There is no place where we rolled the 5 and then got 4 or less. That's impossible. The common denominator is 24. 4 plus 6 is 10. And you leave the answer alone. You don't need to reduce. In the box, 10 out of 24 is 10/24.